Good morning, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, am I late?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is TC 71 here?
Yes, sir. TC 71 is here.
Okay. So please turn on your camera. And what about team codes 87?
Yes, sir, we are present.
Okay, all right.
Subhash, can I be back in 2 minutes?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Oh, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So I'm requesting the participants to kindly turn on their cameras. Thank you. Very good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to be the host of this final round of negotiation competition held under the Second National Law Fest organized by the ADR Drafting and Literary Society established at Faculty of Law, University of Lucknow. So, as we have our guest and the judges of the final round, I would like to invite the president of ADR Drafting and Literary Society, Ms. Arzu Nayab, ma'am, to welcome our assessors. Thank you, and now over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neelanj. Greetings to everyone. So, as we have all reached to a remarkably important stage of the competition, that is the final round. And all the participants and the teams have put in a lot of effort for this competition. So here we go, and I welcome our assessor, Mr. Sanjay Bhasin sir, Senior Advocate, High Court of Judicature at Allahabad, Lucknow Bench, and our participants to today's session. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you all are having a good time. I'm Arzu Nayab, the President of ADR Drafting and Literary Society, and it's my pleasure today to be in the final round of the negotiation competition of the second National Law Fest being organized by the ADR Drafting and Literary Society, established at Faculty of Law, University of Lucknow. So, before proceeding further with the session, I would like to come on the technicalities, and there are certain rules which the participants are requested to abide by. For the chat box, the message will be sent on the chat box 5 minutes prior to the completion of the round, and once the round gets over. All the participants are also requested to turn their camera on throughout the session and do not leave the meeting. And in case if there is any technical glitch, do join as soon as possible. From my end, I wish you all the very best for the round. Now, I request our assessor, with the permission of our assessor, I request him to begin with the round. So, maybe
Yes, please proceed.
all the best participants.
A very good morning, everyone. I'm Sahil. I am a content creator in YouTube. I'm a content creator on ChitChat. I started from nothing. I started recording videos and live streaming from my phone, and today I have a laptop. I have a proper system. I have everything, all the resources that I need to be where I am today, and it was all on my own. And I was so happy. I was so happy when Red Cards approached me with this offer of being marketing their new video game, which I love, which I absolutely love. But at the same time, I'm very disheartened. I was very disheartened when I got the cease and desist letter that my council gave me, because as per what I remember, what the live streaming that I did not indulge in any kind of copyright infringement. I did not indulge in any intellectual property infringement. Now, I am not much of a legal person. I do not understand these terms very well. My counsel was the one who explained me what is copyright, what is intellectual property infringement. But what I understand of this is what I used in your gaming, what I used from your gaming platform was transformative content and commentary. And what was to be, what was constituting a copyright infringement, or what could have infringed a copyright, was me using your logos or image explicitly showing your game, or copyrighted music, or using the original soundtracks of your game, which I did not do at all. And I am very much ardent on the fact that I did not infringe your copyright. When it comes to our contract was only limited to the advertisement that we showed, but the content that I showed on YouTube was live streaming. That was in no way related to the advertisements that we recorded. I did not show any snippets of the advertisements that were recorded by us for the purpose of uploading videos on ChitChat. So I believe I have not breached our contract in any way. All the financial assets that I gained out of the live streaming belong to me, and all the assets that were gained through the videos that I uploaded on ChitChat, they were directly sent to you, and as per our contractual obligation, and then you sent me a fraction of it as per what was decided in our contract. So I understand your at the same time, even if I did not infringe any of these, I do understand your grievance. I do understand that I used my platform I used your game, but at the same time you need to understand your target audience and my target audience is the same. It is the youth. And when I used your game, I made sure that they know that your game is one of the best video games that I've ever played. Your user base has increased so much because I streamed your video game. So seeing that, keeping that in mind, keeping our good faith in mind, I have some offers to present to you, which will be further bifurcated by my council. But I'll be presenting the offers. So what I propose is,
I apologize for the interjection. I
I
am
just
extremely sorry.
give my offers and then
We believe that an introductory session in the beginning would be appropriate before we go into the office, ma'am.
yeah, no problem, sir. No problem. If you believe that you want to go upon with an introductory session, that is not an issue. You can
Your
leave, sir.
council may kindly introduce themselves so that we are all on the same page. Thank
No problem, sir. No
Sure,
problem. No
sure.
problem.
So, introducing myself as requested by the accepting party, I am Miss Sunflower, the counsel for Mr. Sahil here today.
A very good morning
Yes.
to the requesting party. And I thank Mr. Sahil and his council for being present and initiating this negotiation session. I'm glad and I hope we can come on an amicable terms within we end this session. And I would like to introduce myself. I'm Anirudh, the owner of Red Card Studio. And a small introduction about my ownership and my studio is that Red Card Studio, as you are aware, is one of the leading companies in game developing market, and we have come up with various games which are huge hit in the gaming community, and one such game I believe is it calls Last One Stands, which Mr. Sahil was actually our one of our we entered into a contract with Mr. Sahil to advertise it calls in his platforms. So I'm glad we are here, and there were few hiccups that me and Mr. Sahil face, my company and Mr. Sahil face, and I hope we can go through it and we can come on an amicable terms. Thank you.
A very good morning. My name is Bala and I shall be the counsel for Mr. Anirudh present here. At first, I would like to thank the requesting party for initiating this negotiation session because we do believe that there is a dispute currently and opting for negotiation out of courts would be a very easy and fast resolution for the both of us. And we do believe that there is a huge dispute with respect to our understanding of the contract itself. Therefore, at the outset, I would like to state the fact that Red Card Studios Red Card Studios has been one of the leading video game developers, and recently, as my client had rightly stated, they had developed the game called It Calls, and we had acknowledged the presence that Mr. Sahil holds in the social media influencer community, which is why we had entered into an advertising agreement. However, we are strongly claiming that various provisions of the agreement have been contravened by Mr. Sahil's actions, and although he was aware of the licensing requirements, he has chosen to ignore them and has contravened this. Therefore, before we begin with the offers for today, we would like to set the agenda for the meeting, which would act as a base for this negotiation session. And my learned friend for the requesting party may also amend the agenda or even add on to the agendas as well. Therefore, we believe that the first agenda for today might be based on the discussion of Mr. Sahil. Was I audible?
Yes, sir, you were audible.
Yes, so
There
we
was just a
believe that
network
by
issue.
stating the agenda for today, the first agenda we shall be discussing upon shall be the compensation that the company is claiming from Mr. Sahil based on the contravention of our agreement. Of course, you could contend it, which is what would be the first agenda for today. And the second agenda, based on the compensation, we should also look forward to the future because we do not want to exactly end the relationships if Mr. Sahil is willing to continue our relationship because we do understand what contributions you bring in and what we bring in as well to the table. So we would like to look into the future is the second agenda. However, my learned friend may add on or amend the agendas as well.
Thank you so much, council. I really appreciate that. But at the same time, I would like to address that I have not violated any terms of the contract that I've already mentioned, that the contract was only limited to me indulging, me sharing resources for the advertisement that we explicitly shot. And the cease and desist letter that you sent was in relation to the live streamings that I've done on YouTube. So now my counter agendas will be presented by my council. What I believe should be prioritized, since I called this negotiation, there were certain things that I feel like should be prioritized when we are discussing the future, not just this issue, but the future of your company and my relationship with your company, right? So I
Definitely.
believe that what I can offer you is, I understand that you are I understand that you're aggrieved by my live streaming. That is why hence the you send the cease and desist letter. But at the same time, it was my right. I am a creator. I make my livelihood out of video streaming. And when I do that, I'm not just benefiting me, but I'm also benefiting the enterprises whom I'm live streaming with. And that is almost equivalent to, doing it for free, because I did not ask you anything for the live streamings. So what I'm saying is, I'll propose that I give you 20% of the revenue that is generated from my live streamings. And on top of that, since you said that you want to, continue the good faith, and you want that we have a relationship in future as well, I really support that. And in addition to that, I want to propose that I become the brand ambassador for your company, for your game, for 2 years under a contractual obligation. Now there would be certain terms and conditions that, like I said, I'm not a legal person, that I would want to be, point out before you agree or disagree to this brand ambassadorship. That will be, bifurcated by my council. But these are the two main offers that I have to propose. In return, what I ask for is, you give me a temporary license for using your game in my live streamings or in any other platform for 2 years, for marketing purposes, not just on my end but on your end. And you make me the major spokesperson in your brand, seeing that your target audience and my target audience is the same. It is the youth, which is between 17 to 24 years. And seeing that I have a very high credibility when it comes to the field of gaming, because I have been doing that for years now. Seeing that both of our intentions align, and what I say is, you make me the major spokesperson. I'll do advertising campaigns for you, I'll do public appearances for you, I will do monthly publicing marketing campaigns, I will do weekly gameplay events for you, I'll do social media marketing for you. And all of this would come under the ambit of me being your ambassador and your major spokesperson. So my deal is not just going to, since seeing that this is a table of mutual benefits, my deal is not going to, benefit me as a spokesperson, as an ambassador, as someone who is giving you services and getting something out of it. But my services itself is highly going to market your game. It is going to skyrocket. I know that your game skyrocketed only in 10 days of, launching the game. It is a very good game. And when you get the right set of audience with such a good game, you can only imagine where this game can go, right? So I believe that this game has the potential to go there. And if we want to do that, we should definitely get into a, partnership, in terms of me becoming your brand ambassador. And when it comes to you being aggrieved and you asking for compensation, the most I can do is, because at the end of the day, I am not a company owner. I am a content creator. I can only give you 20% of the revenue that I have, that I get out of these live streamings. So my council will now be bifurcating the ambassador fee and the terms that I'm asking for
Before
to
that,
get into this ambassadorship. So my council can go forward. Yes.
we have quite a disagreement here because we are glad for the offer that you've placed before us. However, one of the offers that you had stated was with respect to the license for a period of 2 years in order for the live streaming, right?
Yes.
So is that an implication that the license did not exist earlier when you had already done a live stream? Because one of our main claims is that there was an unauthorized use of our copyrighted material. There was
See,
unauthorized use, and the licensing requirements were aware to you with respect to the agreement. However, you had already conducted the live streams, because of which your audience base has increased, because of which you have also gotten advertising revenue, sponsorship, merchandising, sales, brand partnerships, etc. So all of these were based on unauthorized use of our copyrighted material. Therefore, before you
Sir,
begin with becoming a
I
brand
believe we are a
ambassador,
little mistaken here. I believe my words didn't get through. What I'm trying to say is, I did not indulge in any copyright infringement. So there is an algorithm in
that is a
Zoom
claim
which
from your
which
side,
takes
ma'am.
down videos when the algorithm detects some kind of copyright infringement. My video, seeing that I'm a very famous content creator, my video was very well within the algorithm, and my video was not taken down for any copyright infringement. And seeing that YouTube has a very strict policy about copyright, it is clearly evident I did not indulge in any copyright. What I'm trying to say is, you give me a temporary license, a copyright license, in which what resources I cannot use from your gaming right now, which I've already mentioned, like soundtracks, logos, which I cannot use right now since I'm not indulging in copyright infringement. I can use those resources when I have a temporary license to use those. And when I do, I'm going to market it on a more larger level. And when I do that, more revenue is generated because my consumer base increases. when my consumer base increases, your consumer base directly increases because those people are going to play your game. And when that happens, your personal revenue is increased, and my revenue, and I'm giving you a portion of my revenue on top of that, which is 20%. So what I am offering you here is going to make you a lot of money. We Right now, what I'm talking here, the offer that I'm bringing towards is not me already trying to mask some kind of infringement that I already did. I did not do any infringement. I stand upon that, and that is very much evident. I have told you what I have used, what I haven't used out of your game, and I've told you that my video was not taken down by YouTube, and uh, irrespective of the stringent policies that they have regarding copyright, right? So what I'm saying is, you give me a temporary license. I'm not even asking for a permanent license. I'm asking you for a temporary license. We can see where this relationship goes, and then if after 2 years if both the parties feel like we want to revive the contract, we may or may not make this license permanent, or we can keep it temporary.
Please, we understand.
So what situation is that, right?
We understand.
But right now, I would want you to listen to the bifurcation that I have regarding the ambassador fee, so that you don't have a problem with that.
Yes.
Mr. Sahil, before discussing about the negotiation points, I would like to bring in a fact that we are not just claiming that you infringed our copyright. We're talking about unauthorized use. And Mr.
Yes.
Sahil, the basic thing you could have done is to communicate to us that you were using our game on YouTube. You could have asked our consent, you could have asked our permission before you live stream. We are not telling that we are not benefiting from you live streaming on YouTube. I understand, yes, that is making you revenue, that is getting us also money. I'm not denying that fact. As business partners, I'm sure you also understand how much revenue matters to both of us. I do understand that you do have a great fan following base, and I do understand that we also get positive responses through that. But the basic thing you could have done is communicated to us. I don't understand how that was very tough, or I don't understand how that you live streaming in YouTube was anyway it was contravening our the agreement that we put. You could have just asked our consent or a permission or a small letter, something.
Additionally, we would also like to bring upon a technical point of contention. YouTube does not have the power to suo moto take cognizance and in order to strike down channels. That is up to the copyright owner in order to claim the video as copyright claimed. But we do not like to do that. We do not like to take this dispute to the next level, which is why a cease and desist letter was issued to you. YouTube not copyright striking you does not mean that you had not copyright infringed us, because we had not made the claim through the channels of YouTube. However, a cease and desist letter was sent on our behalf. However, no action was taken with respect to that either. However, before we enter into deals with respect to brand ambassadorship, we would like to state that we are quite disheartened with the unprofessional behavior, and we would like to speak about the compensation that we require, because we have suffered a lot of damages with respect to your contravention of our agreement. Therefore, we are not even sure if you would like to take the relationship forward. Therefore, we would like to discuss about whether you're ready to pay the compensation, fit the bill, after which we shall be discussing about the licensing agreements, etc. Because we
Yes.
would like to
First of all,
take forward this relationship.
absolutely. First of all, when it comes to unauthorized use, please be a little specific about unauthorized use is when I'll be liable for unauthorized use when I'm infringing any of your intellectual property rights. And when it comes to, I apologize. I know that some of the goodwill might be ruptured because of me, without informing you using your platform. But you need to understand, I'm a content creator. I'm a player, right? So what I do is I play a lot of games. I play a lot of video games, and I make sure that I do not pass the threshold of violating any of the copyrights of these video games. So I do not have the time to contact every video game platform that I'm using and I'm live streaming, right?
Well, this is based on the agreement that we have entered into.
That's why in this negotiation session, I understand that, and I understand that you would require some kind of compensation because you might have be agreed that, oh, this is my game, why am I seeing it on YouTube, and why don't I know about this? Understand, it was not just me. There are plethora of YouTubers who live stream your videos. It's just that I'm a famous one, and that came into notice. You need to understand that if people are playing your game, it is inevitable that some of them are going to live stream it. So that's what I did. It was irrespective of our professional relationship. It was me live streaming because of which was very, very, very different from our contract. So what I'm saying here is, fine, I acknowledge that you might be aggrieved because of this, and that is why I offered you the 20% revenue as compensation. What I'm trying to say here is I already acknowledge that you might on a personal level be aggrieved that I did not inform you about my live streaming, but I am not violating any contractual obligation. But irrespective of that, in order to maintain the goodwill, I am trying to give you 20% of the revenue that I am generating from this. Obviously, we can deliberate upon that if you feel like 20% is not enough for you. On top of that, what I can do is I can issue a letter of acknowledgement that I have used your game in a way that I did not violate your copyrights, but I have used your game for my live streaming. I can issue you a letter of acknowledgement. In that way, I feel like the ruptured faith between us can be mended. It could be a step towards that, and then we can carry this relationship forward. We can do this. On top of that, if we do come in a arrangement for ambassadorship, what I can do is I can make a video acknowledging our partnership about marketing projects that will be indulging in if we do get into an ambassadorship. I'll make a video upon that. This will show the entire audience that your company and me are in a good faith. Your company and me are having a very good relationship and we are carrying that forward. We can do that. And on top of that, I can continue making more ads for you on charts. And I can, you give you that the fee that you were paying me earlier, you can pay me like 10% less of that, so that that is a sign of me showing good faith that I used your I used your video game for my live streaming. So like now I'm providing you with videos on chit chats, making ads for you on chit chats on a lower price, right? Even though I did not violate any of the laws that were explained to me by my counsel. But at the same time, see, I am a person who loves your video games. I do not want to build bad faith between us. I really really want this relationship to continue. So I would really be happy to hear your side of the agreement. I'll be very willing to hear your offers.
Yes, and plus, we acknowledge that you are asking for compensation. And regarding that, as my client has said, that we are ready to pay 20% of revenue sharing, not because my client was at fault, but because we want to build and foster this relationship. So I will just be briefing the offer which has been kept by client and two more agendas which we would like to discuss in today's or upcoming sessions.
Please,
So
please.
firstly, yes, please. My client is proposing that temporary license, as already put forward by my client, for 2 years to use the game for live streaming. And in return of that, my client is ready to pay you 20% of revenue shared, uh, uh, 20% of the share in revenue generated from live streaming. Plus, he also proposes to become the brand ambassador, right? And also, he also now proposes that he'll issue a letter of acknowledgement. Plus, he'll continue to make more ads on chit chat platform, right? And in addition to that, we also wish to discuss an agreement to reaffirm the reputation of both the parties here, and that would include signing an NDA agreement on both the ends. And I think it will be beneficial for both of you, right? And we are also ready to discuss any more concerns that you are may having, that is including addressing the alleged accusation of unauthorized use, which my client claims that it was not done so. If you have any clarification regarding the offer we are making.
Well, based on the discussion with my client, I would like to state that we are in agreement partially with respect to the letter of acknowledgement that you're claiming to provide us with. However, before that, we would need to renegotiate based on the compensation that was agreeable between the two of us. Because our agreement that we had entered into with true consent, we would like to state that the clause G states that any other revenue that is generated shall be transferred to the studios as soon as possible. However, this has been kept with yourself. All the revenue that has been generated has been held by you. And currently, you are stating that you would be providing us with 20%, which we believe is quite a less offer and quite in contempt with the agreement that we had entered into as well. Therefore, we would definitely claim a compensation of 80% on the revenue that was generated on behalf of the unauthorized use of our copyrighted material, if it is agreeable to my learned friend.
Mr. Counsel, I would like to clarify that the clause you're talking about is in relation to advertisements only. And this is not a case of advertisement but of live streaming. Therefore, the clause is no longer applicable here.
We would like to reaffirm the fact that there has been a slight disagreement here. You would
Yes.
also notice here that Sahil was not active on the platform of ChitChat up until the advertisement had begun, right?
Right, let's say
They were
It
I
not,
was
it's clearly mentioned in the
but
facts. It is a fact.
comparatively the amount
Comparatively.
of videos that I used to upload on YouTube was
Definitely,
more
that's what
than
we
what
meant.
I uploaded on TikTok.
Definitely.
Yes.
It is also a fact that the advertisement indirectly helps Sahil increase his content as well as his audience on ChitChat. Is that right? Yes. So
Cannot be
ChitChat
solely
was,
given to advertisement because Mr. Sahil had other projects going on at that time.
of course.
But yes,
Of
there
course, we
has been a
understand.
constant increase in his.
See, you
audience.
need to understand this was not my only source of revenue.
Yes.
I do a lot of things. I have a lot of companies that I have an agreement with. I have a lot of games that I'm talking to right now that I'm streaming along with
We
your
understand.
team. So like when it comes to me increasing my audience on chit chat, it is a plethora of things and not a certain agreement that I made.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sahil, but the facts clearly states that your audience increased after you advertised our game in ChitChat.
Because this is quite
My
a popular
audience,
game.
my
Because
audience
this is quite a
increased on
popular
my
game, Mr.
capability.
Sahil, and we've come up with this game.
Ma'am, my audience increased on chitchat on my own capability that I have built from scratch.
That
I
was
was
based upon
nothing.
the
I built
advertisement
my
is clearly
reputation
mentioned in
on
the facts.
from scratch. And when it comes to my audience increasing or decreasing, it is a very dynamic thing which happens with every video creator, which
Definitely.
happens to
Definitely,
every
Mr. Sahil.
influencer.
Definitely.
And it is not just contingent upon me streaming or not streaming a particular game.
Definitely.
It may be that two things might be happening in a consonance, but it doesn't mean that one thing happening is contingent upon other thing happening. My
Well,
audience increasing in chit chat after I've streamed your game does not mean it happened because me streaming your game, but these are just two events which happened one after another.
well, we believe that there is quite a disagreement here because your audience is increased on ChitChat purely because of the advertisement, which is clearly mentioned in the facts. We believe
Uh,
that you could disagree
I
with
believe
the
this
facts
is
that
nowhere
have.
mentioned in the fact that it purely happened because of me streaming your game. It
We're
happened
talking only about
after me
ChitChat,
streaming
Mr.
your game,
Sahil.
but
Not
that was
regarding
not
me.
the reason.
See, we
Mr.
do
Sahil,
have
we
to
understand your
agree that
popularity on YouTube.
But I believe we are diverting from the topic here. I believe we are very much diverting
Yes,
from the
that
topic
is
here.
We
What I'm trying to say is I have given you all the financial resources which were related to me advertising your ad on ChitChat. That was the term of our agreement. All when we talk about all in the I'm not a legal person like I've reiterated again and again, but
Yes, of course.
when all in the all financial resources in the agreement is interpreted as all the financial resources which are in relation to the agreement, which is in relation to me with me uploading the advertisement videos. And what revenue I generated from live streaming is different from what I've generated
We
in those videos. And my popularity on chit chat in general is because of my own effort and not about because of those certain videos. And when it comes to those videos, your clauses have been very vague. I have already expressed my concern when we were signing the contract, and you were very much clear upon the fact when I expressed those concerns that yes, this is just related to the videos. You have your own appearance, you have your own presence on the chit chat as well, and we are not talking about that. We are only talking about your assets with relation to the game and the videos, and you were very clear upon that. And I do not understand the point of bringing this up right now. See, what I am saying is what I can propose you is if you feel like 20% revenue is less, the most I can do is I can provide you with 25% revenue. And this is not the revenue that I'm generating from those videos. This is my own revenue. I'm giving you my own revenue out of my goodwill. There, there is nothing. There is no legal sanction. There's no legal provision in the contract which is subjecting you to asking to force this, revenue out of me or force a compensation out of me. But I'm doing this out of a goodwill. Not just this, I'm giving you an innovatory plan. I'm giving you an ambassadorship which is going to skyrocket your game, which is going to skyrocket your company. So what the last I can offer is I can give you 25% revenue. I can give you ambassadorship. You give me 1.5 year of temporary license. Not two. Give me 1.5 year of temporary license on your video game, and I'll continue making ads on ChitChat. And all the again, in consonance to the previous terms, all the financial resources that are generated from the videos that I make on ChitChat will be directly transferred to you, and you give me a portion of that as a fee, as already discussed in the previous contracts.
Yes, just to add that my client has been making videos since he was 17, and the contract was signed when he's 26. So my client's audience base have been increasing since 17. So every time he takes up a project doesn't mean that his success is solely because of that project. He has some talent, and because of that, the audience base is increasing. I'll just brief the offer which has been kept by my client. That is, we are he's ready to give 20%, 25% of the revenue generated. Plus, he is ready to be the ambassador. Plus, the letter of acknowledgement remains on the table, and plus, he's ready to go for 1.5
Month,
years in a year
Yeah.
instead of two for the license, right? And plus the ads on chit chat will continue. Any
Mr.
clarification?
Sahil, sorry.
Yes,
Mr.
please.
Sahil,
Yes,
I
please.
completely understand where you come from. I understand that you're a successful social media influencer and you've been in the industry for about 10 to 11 years, right? I'm sorry, was I audible?
Yes, yes,
yes,
you
yes,
are.
you are audible.
Yeah. So, see, Mr. Sahil, we are one of the leading companies, and not just domestically, but even internationally. So you should understand that we too have contractual obligations to other parties also, right? And we have entered into contract with other parties in different kinds of platforms. We have different contracts with parties on YouTube. We have different parties on other media platforms. And we had entered into a contract only regarding chit chat. But you went ahead and live streamed our game on YouTube when you were unauthorized to do so, which you're violating the terms of the contract which we signed. And if you had any issues with the contract while signing, I'm pretty sure Mr. Sahil, your legal counsel would have advised you not to sign the contract. Am I wrong?
We would like to reaffirm the
Ma'am,
fact
already
that the
as
revenue share.
reiterated by me. Just a second, sir. Just a
Yeah, yeah,
Please,
clarification.
please.
As already reiterated by me, I showed my concern when we were deliberating upon the contract. My counsel was present there. I pointed it out because my counsel said me to, and you clarified that no, this is only specifically related to the videos that I'll be making on chit chat in regards to your video game. And hence, after that clarification,
Yeah.
which was pointed out by my counsel, that I agreed to sign the contract. And when it comes to you having other contracts with other people on YouTube or chit chat, that is not related to our contractual relationship. That is mentioning that is unrelated to our contractual obligation. There are a lot of people who are live streaming your video game without any contractual obligation, without anything. And that does not matter whether they are popular or not, but they are. And when it comes to me streaming that video and me having a contract with you regarding chit chat, they are two different things. They are two separate things. And when you're saying that me live streaming is violating my contract with you, which is related to chit chat, which is very much unrelated to YouTube, that is very vague and that is very misleading on your end. So
Our primary contention is based on the fact that you cannot distinguish between the audience that you've gained on YouTube and chit chat. Am I right? Therefore, you
I
entered
can
into
distinguish
brand
So
deal,
between the audience.
merchandising
I can
sales,
distinguish
if I
between the
may
audience.
please.
yes, please continue.
My followers on chit chat and my subscribers on YouTube are two different people, are two different entities, right? I have millions of followers on chit chat, I have millions of subscribers on YouTube, but they are two different audiences, right? And if and the revenue that is generated from millions of followers on YouTube and millions of subscribers on YouTube, they're two separate revenues that
Not with respect to merchandise sales.
and when I'm doing that, I'm giving you the revenue as discussed from chit chat, but the revenue that is generated from YouTube that I have generated out of my own sweat and blood, that is not related to you or the contract that we signed. That is what I'm saying. These are two different entities.
See, we just have to understand that one thing remains constant, that the contract was regarding the advertisements, not regarding the live streams. And plus, there has been no unauthorized use, because unauthorized use have been would have been if he was using the exact audio, or if he was using the logos or displaying it as a paid partnership, which was not done by my client.
Unauthorized use means that you have not taken the authorization of the copyright owner before you start the live stream. Was
Because
that
there
the
was
I have
no
not I have not
copyright
crossed the
infringement, sir.
threshold of a copyright infringement. Hence, I
Yes.
have not indulged in an unauthorized use. I've already told you what I have used out of your game and what I've not used out of your game, which does not come under the ambit of copyright, as I have said was explained to me in detail by my counsel.
We do understand this. However, our primary contention is based on the fact that you have entered into advertising revenue, sponsorships, merchandise sales. Let's speak about this merchandise sales and the revenue that you've gained out of it. will you be able to differentiate between the audience that has bought your merchandise because of your chit chat or your YouTube streaming? Therefore, our primary contention is based on the fact that your audience has increased because of the advertisements on chit chat. And you have also raised revenue through merchandise sales. And our current contention is the fact that your audience on chit chat or YouTube are one and the same. They would be merged when it comes to a merchandise sale. Because of our advertisements, your audience base has increased, which has led to merchandise sales, which is why we have a primary claim over the revenue that you've received out of these merchandise sales and brand partnerships, because your audience base has increased because of our advertisements. That is our primary claim, and that with respect to this, there can't be a watertight compartment between your YouTube audience and your chit chat audience. How would you like
I
to reply
ac-
to?
I acknowledge that my merchandise sales have increased, but I have my own merchandise line. All right, I am a content creator. I have to again and again come up with things to increase my popularity, and this line of merchandise is my own. And when it comes to it increasing or it popularizing, it is because of my reach on YouTube. Again, I will try to reiterate this: my reach on YouTube and my popularity on YouTube, which is the result of my merchandise sale increasing, is contingent upon how I work upon it, and it is not contingent upon me making any particular video or me making a video in relation to any one particular video game. That does not happen. That's not how YouTube works. That's not how content creation works. And I think I am better, well versed with that, since I have been doing content creation for years. What I'm trying to say is, when it comes to my sales, merchandise sale, when it comes to my revenue, and when it comes to my popularity, and when it comes to me gaining financial assets on YouTube, they are different from our contract. They do not come under the ambit of me increasing my sales or decreasing my sales because of unauthorized use. Because again, I've said that I have not indulged in unauthorized use. When it comes to my popularity increasing on chit chat, again, it is not just contingent upon me making those advertisement audios or advertising videos. It is contingent upon me making a lot of videos. You need to understand that I just don't make your advertising video. I make advertising videos for a lot of companies. I just not make advertising videos. I make blogs, I make videos, I upload snippets of my live streaming on chit chats. I do a lot of things. That is why I'm so popular on chit chat. My popularity on chit chat is not just dependent upon your advertisement videos. So me gaining something out of my chit chat account altogether is not subjected to you. Me gaining revenue out of in chit chat, when it comes to your videos that I've uploaded, that is what is related to you, and that was what was given to you. And what right now I'm doing is, I'm giving you offers out of good faith. I have not violated anything. Whatever I'm doing is giving you out of good faith. I understand you're aggrieved, and I've given you I'm offering you compensation. I've increased my compensation from 20 to 25%. I have made changes. See, this is a table of mutual benefits. So if I'm giving something, I'm taking something. So when I'm giving you revenue, I'm also in return taking a temporary license. And I've even done a deduction on that temporary license, which was from 2 years to 1.5 years. So right now, I feel like I'm the only one who is making exceptions over here, and you are the one who is being very narrow minded when it comes to this negotiation. So I believe that a little flexibility on your end can help us make a amicable decision or an amicable agreement. Or of course, there it is very normal for us to not come upon an agreement, but I believe that maybe you can take this under consideration. And not we cannot indulge in reputations about unauthorized use, as I've already cleared that I have not indulged in the same.
Mr. Sahil, I completely understand where you're coming from. I understand your contentions. But Mr. Sahil, even we are not a small company, right? We are one of the leading companies. And sorry to say that we also have other high level, high clients to whom we also give advertisement opportunities, you know? So what we are trying to say is, Mr. Sahil, we understand we are in a negotiation table and we all obviously want to reconcile our relationship, our professional relationship. So my council would like to put forth the percentage we are okay with.
We would not like to go below 70%. We are also coming down a point of 10 percentage from 80%. We cannot go under 70 percentage because legally we have suffered damages which could easily be proven. However, we have agreed for negotiation, which is why we would not to bring that up. Therefore, we cannot go under 70% of the revenue share that you had stated.
All right, so you are
Also, we would
saying
also
that
like to reaffirm the fact that we stand to lose a lot less when compared to you, Mr. Sahil, because we do have other content creators. Therefore, we would like you to keep that in mind before we further proceed with our negotiations.
so first of all, when you say that you have other content creators and you have a lot less to lose, this goes both ways. if you have a lot of content creators, I have a lot of companies that I'm dealing with right now. Losing one
Really?
deal would not be that big of a deal, and using that was very, that did not show a sign of good faith. First of all, you having an upper hand because of how popular you are was very condescending towards me. I have a lot of followers on YouTube and chit chat, and I will not. I'm sorry, but I will not entertain such kind of condescending behavior.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Secondly,
Sahil, but this is
second,
a business negotiation. I'm pretty
this
sure
is
that's how
business
we do
negotiation,
business,
absolutely.
right?
And when I'm
I'm
talking,
pretty sure
that's
you know
why I'm
because you're
talking in numbers
successful.
over here. I'm talking in numbers over here. The entire
Yeah, you're
conversation
talking
has
in
been
numbers,
based on
Mr.
numbers,
Sahil.
ma'am. Yes. What I'm saying is, even I have a reputation as a content creator wherever I go, whether it's a negotiation or anywhere, I would like to be treated with some, modicum of respect. So, moving on. Secondly, what I'm offering is seeing that this revenue that I'm generating from YouTube is mine. What I can do is the revenue that is only explicitly generated from the live streamings of your videos. Firstly, at first I was offering you 20% of my revenue from YouTube altogether. Now, if you're saying that you want 70% of the revenue generated from the videos that I'm uploading on YouTube of your gaming channel, of your video game, what I can do is I can provide you with 40% of the revenue that I generate only from the video streams that I do of your video game. Rather than giving you 20% of the revenue altogether, I'll give you 40% of the revenue that I generate from your gaming videos.
Well,
That is my
that
counter
is
offer upon that. Rest of the terms remain the same.
So basically, my client has changed the term. That is the 40% not from the revenue generated from YouTube altogether, but 40% solely from the revenue generated from videos based on your game. And other things, that is letter of acknowledgement and 1.5 years ambassadorship, remains on the table.
Yeah.
therefore we believe that we are getting to a middle ground right here. However, 40% is still quite less compared to what Mr. Anirudh had kept in mind when he was entering this negotiation session. We believe that we can agree upon a 50% revenue split. However, there can be an arrangement based on the views that the videos get that our games create. Therefore, we can make a variable payment aside from the 50% revenue split based on the views. Because what if your content is no longer engaging to your audience?
See, just a second. I need to
Please,
confirm
please.
this with my uh, counsel. Just
Please
a
take it.
Definitely take your time.
use this. See, so first of all, you're saying that you want an additional, monetary incentive based upon my performance, right? But you need to understand my revenue is my performance analysis. My revenue is contingent upon how I perform on YouTube, and that is the monetary incentive I get, and that is what I can give you. So additional monetary incentive does not make sense because this is my monetary incentive that I can offer based on my performance analysis. So what I can offer you is, seeing that this is my YouTube channel, these are my videos that I'm uploading, I understand where you come from. I understand that you came here with the mindset that you want a certain amount of revenue or compensation out of this
Right.
agreement. What I can, the maximum that I can offer you is, seeing that this is my channel, this is my platform. I need to have a dominant percentage of revenue in this agreement. I believe that I should have the dominant revenue. It only makes sense. So what I can do is I can go till 43%. I can give you 43% of my revenue that I generate only from your videos. And the rest 57 stays with me. Seeing that I am the owner of that YouTube channel, I am the one creating the videos. It only makes sense that I get the dominance.
Yes, and I would like to clarify that the part you were speaking about, that revenue based on the videos, I would like to clarify that Zootex policy is that the revenue is based on the basis of videos only. There's no other way of paying the revenue. So the revenue my client will be getting will be based on the viewers only.
Well, we would like an additional payment since the revenue split is quite less because given our presence in the market, we
The
believe that
revenue
the
split, I
compensation
have
is
gone
quite
from
less.
20 to
Kindly let us
43.
finish our side. Kindly.
No
Please.
problem, ma'am. No problem.
Thank you.
Given the position that we hold in the market, we believe that 43% is yet again quite less. However, we would like to give you an incentive in order to increase your viewers as well. So we have a proposition for you. Since my client is a video game creator, how about he provides you with early access to the content that they produce out of updates, due to which your viewer engagement would increase as well. However, we don't need a higher revenue split. We need a 60-40 split in our favor. However, we would be signing an agreement with respect to early access to the content of the games that we would be providing, out of which you can create reviews, you can create gameplay videos out of this early access content. Therefore, you could
So, sir,
see
can you keep your can you clarify your offer a bit? Can you keep it a little brief and give me a pointer
So
so that I
basically,
understand?
early access means that my client will be putting the game information on his channel before you will be doing that. That's what you mean by early access.
that is not how the video game industry works. So usually when an
You
update
just
has
give
been
me the
announced,
brief of your offer.
Yes,
What I'm
yes,
saying is, give me a brief of your offer. Give me pointers upon what you
yes,
are offering.
we would
definitely.
be going ahead
Yes.
with it.
Definitely.
Since our games are highly in demand with respect to your audience, we would like to state that they would have a lot of interest in the content that is about to be released as well, the new updates, because this is a multiplayer game. So we would be having updates on a regular basis. Therefore, we are ready to give you early access to the updates that we would be providing as an incentive. However, in response to a higher revenue split of 60% in our favor.
So first of all, I believe that giving the early access to the resources is not proportionate to how much is it, 17% more revenue that you are asking for. The numbers just don't add up. It is not proportionate at all. What I can offer you is, you take 43%, I take 57%, but in exchange what I'll do is, I'll do month rather than doing monthly public marketing campaigns that I offered earlier. I'll do these marketing campaigns on a weekly basis, like both physically and on my YouTube channel. I'll do these public campaigns, and then you can do a performance analysis on the basis of that. When we upgrade our contract 2 years after, on the basis of that performance analysis, you can increase or decrease my pay grade. That's what I can offer you. But giving me early access is something
Yes.
which is like
Yes, I
not
would
at
like to
100%.
add that the live streams which are done by my client, that is solely done by my client. He's the one who is creating the content. He's the one who is uploading the content. He's the one who is editing the photo, editing the videos or the live streams. Whereas what a contract we had with Chit Chat was that you were helping, as in the advertisement. So there has to be some difference. My client deserves a majority share in revenue while it when it comes to the live streams.
We would like to clarify the fact that you were merely an advertiser for the product that we had created. There was no help, or our relationship was
I
not based
recorded
on
the
a period of help.
advertisements.
However, we would like to agree at least at an increased rate of compensation that we would be requiring. We require at least a 50% compensation, and we believe that physical marketing would be scope of our requirements. These are beyond what we require currently,
So
because we
the
believe that our online marketing campaigns have been going on quite well. Therefore, physical marketing is not something that is required by us. However, what we require is a higher revenue split. And early access is something that would drive a lot of viewer engagement to your site, which we believe that you do not understand based on your previous experiences, Mr. Sahil. So we do require a 60% compensation with early access content.
so what I can say is, what I can offer you is, you take you take 47%, I take 53%. And for me, increasing this amount from 43 to 47, the 47 is the most I can do. I need to have the dominant share. I'm the one recording the videos. I'm the one who will be uploading the videos. I'll be the one who will be, contributing assets, which, the miscellaneous assets that goes into live streaming and which goes into online marketing when it comes to videos and, on videos on YouTube. I'm buying premium access on YouTube. I am, on my end, contributing a lot of assets when it comes to making videos. So because of that, I'm asking, I get the dominant share in this. You take 47%, but in exchange what you do is, the computer devices or the miscellaneous expenses that I have, which we can discuss in later negotiations
Sure,
or
sure.
later agreements, that you fund those. You fund my the miscellaneous expenses that I have in video streaming when it comes to only streaming your videos, and then you take 47% of the revenue.
Could we
This
get
is
a
the way I
clarity
can
on
offer.
what the
Yes.
miscellaneous is
Expenses would
expenses?
entail.
So I'll dissect it. I'll dissect the miscellaneous.
Please,
There
please.
are a lot of things that come, but at this that can be discussed. But I'll tell you the main pointers. I'll flag post whatever comes. So this would include electronic devices that go into live streaming. This will include computers, PCs, laptops, webcams, speakers. It would include my the payment for my monthly premium access to YouTube. It would include my my internet access when it comes to me live streaming.
Right. Mr. Sahil, I believe that's your livelihood, and I don't think our company has any role to play in providing you PCs and funding for premiums of YouTube because that's your livelihood, Mr. Sahil.
So
That's up to you.
exactly,
But regarding
exactly,
Mr. Sahil,
exactly
let
my
me
point.
finish. Let me
Yes,
finish.
yes, absolutely,
So
absolutely.
we are not going to intervene in your livelihood, Mr. Sahil, regarding the expenses that you incur by promoting your livelihood and promoting the online games. We are talking only about promoting our game in YouTube. So we do not like the offer of funding for the miscellaneous expenses. We are
See,
extremely
just
sorry.
to clarify, that miscellaneous expenses was regarding the streams of your videos only.
Yes,
They
Miss.
won't be
But Mr.
using any
Sahil,
other
I
videos.
shall not be
specifically,
possessing them. I
Yes.
shall not be possessing those devices. You
Exactly.
can
okay.
just provide me when I'm recording for your video games. And when it comes to you not infringing my livelihood, that is all what we have been doing this in this entire negotiation session. This revenue I'm generating is my livelihood. That we are this livelihood is what we are discussing. And if I'm going to give you a share of my livelihood, you will have to give me something in return. So what I'm asking you is I am giving you 47%. 47 is a very, very, very big chunk. Even if it is not a dominant percentage, it is a very big chunk of my livelihood. When I'm giving you that from the videos that explicitly mention my livelihood, I'm just asking you, you give me funding, or you can directly provide me with the resources when I'm making your videos. So
Uh,
for example, if I have targeted that these 3 weeks or these 2 weeks I'm going to focus on your video games, those 2 to 3 weeks you provide me with the resources that I need in order to live stream and in order
understood.
to
Understood.
market your videos. You do that,
Understood.
and on top of that you get 47% of the revenue instead of 43. That is what I'm saying when I'm saying about miscellaneous expenses. I don't mean that give me free fund laptops or PCs that I
Understood, Mr.
use in
Sahil.
general. Don't do that.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
We would like to take a time period of 2 minutes in order to discuss with my client, please.
If that's
That is
okay.
no problem.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So our final offer, based on my discussions with my client, would be that we require a stake of 49% in the share of revenue that would be receiving. However, still the dominant share remains with you. However, we are not agreeable to the miscellaneous expenses because we believe that Mr. Sahil is already in possession of the technology that is required in order to stream because he's been doing this since he was 17 years old. Whatever exists, that may be used by Mr. Sahil in order to be streaming our games. However, we are okay with the 49%, and we do not agree with the brand ambassadorship because we do not find it relevant to our deal. We are agreeable to you having a major split of 51%. However, we do not agree to the miscellaneous expenses statement that you stated. Whatever equipment Mr. Sahil has, he may use it. And we do not agree with the brand ambassadorship either. If this is agreeable to you, you still have the majority share and our relationship still continues. And
So
earlier
when it
agreement
comes
with respect to our earlier agreement with respect to chit chat shall exist as well. So none of these will be an issue for you, and our relationship does continue. However, we do not agree to the miscellaneous expenses.
I'm sorry, you're inaudible.
You're inaudible.
We're unable to hear
You're
you.
unable. Has there been a network issue?
No, it's there. No, no, no.
Are you audible on this device?
Yes, you are.
Yes,
Yes.
you
You
are.
are.
Please continue.
Uh, so sorry, that was an
It's
internet
all right. It's all right. We
connectivity
understand.
issue. So what I understand of your offer is you are willing to give me 40. You are willing to just give me 51% of the revenue, and you
Right.
take 49%. You are not agreeing to the ambassadorship. You need
Right.
to understand that when it comes to ambassadorship, I've already mentioned what all you are going to gain out of the marketing opportunity. The primary reason that you approached me was marketing, so I believe that when it comes to ambassadorship, it is of very big use to you as well as to me. Our target audiences are same. My credibility in the gaming industry is extremely high. I'm one of the best gamers that exist, not just nationally but globally. So what I'm
Definitely.
saying is, when it comes to me being ambassadorship, it was not just an offer for you, but for me. I'm asking it for myself as well. So me sufficing for 49% with no ambassadorship and a license, I suppose.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sahil. It was 51 percentage for you. You are the dominant holder. 51%.
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat?
Yeah, so we said that our offer is 51 percentage in the revenue share for yourself and 49 percentage for us,
Yes.
excluding
Yes.
without the brand ambassador, because we think our company do not need brand ambassadors, because
And do you
we
agree
feel
to the
that
do
the
you agree to the
online
license?
marketing that you are conducting right now is sufficient to engage the audience.
Mr. Anirudh, are you
Yes.
agreeing with the license to online streaming
Sorry,
to be with my
I
client?
was unable to hear you. Could you please repeat it?
I'm saying that do you agree to me asking for a 1.5-year license to use your video game? Because I cannot
Just
stream your videos and give you the revenue if I'm not
yes,
having the
just for the
license.
online streaming, because since you are sharing the revenue, the license is required so that such disputes do not arise in future. I think for
Surely,
both the
surely.
parties.
Surely.
So we
Right.
believe
So
that
what
a revenue split of
For 1.5
49%
years, right?
in our favor would be agreeable if the licensing period was for a period of 1 year. However, if you require it for a period of 1.5 years, we would require the dominant share of 51%. Therefore, the ball is in your court. You may make
what
the final
the
decision.
final offer that I can give you, the final offer that I can give you, first of all, I cannot let go of the ambassadorship. You either give me ambassadorship or you just make me the spokesperson in the in the marketing community of your company. You do that. I want to become the major spokesperson because I need to get something out of this deal as well. If I'm going to give you first of all, I am not willing to give you 49%. The most I can go is 47%, and 47% is a lot when it comes to me making this deal. Me not having a relationship would not affect me that much, and that goes both ways, of course. But
Obviously.
I cannot in any way give you 49% of the share. Let me complete, and I can give you 47% of the share. I can let go of the ambassadorship. I will only would want to be the spokesperson in the brand. And thirdly, I can agree to 1 year of license rather than 1.5 years. If you agree to the terms that I've mentioned, that is 47%. You get 47% of the share in the revenue, and I become the spokesperson in the brand.
And plus the license for 1 year.
Well, we believe that there is still a disagreement with respect to the 47% and the 49% because, as far as we are aware, 49% was agreed to by yourself. However, you have rolled back on that agreement
I
that
have
you
not
made with
agreed
us.
to 49%.
In
I
the
was just delivering down your
Understood. Understood,
And
Mr.
plus
progress
brand
because Mr.
relationship was
Anirudh
conditional
was
along
in
with that.
disagreement to even attend this negotiation session. However, in the interest of time, we do believe that we can make further significant progress on a future date with a later negotiation session. We believe that we have made significant progress and we hope that our relationship continues in the future. And therefore, Mr. Sahil and his counsel, would you like to agree on a future date?
Yeah.
Of course, sir. So what we can do is, my council and your council can, deliberate
Definitely.
upon when we can have the a negotiation session. Our best course of action for this was negotiation, as told by my council. Further, we can go for future negotiation sessions, or we can go for mediation, or we can go for any other out of court settlement which fits us. But I am very grateful that you gave me a clarity upon the cease and desist letter with this negotiation session. I was very confused upon what what this even means, what is the future of our relationship, our corporate relationship. So I'm very much grateful that you came to this session. I was really looking forward to this. This provided me a plethora of clarity upon our
Definitely.
relationship, And yeah, now my council can provide you with some future dates that we can go upon for a further negotiation session,
Absolutely.
so that we can much more have a much more deliberative discussion upon this future course of
Yes.
action.
First off, thanks to both of you to for coming here with an open mindset and trying to rebuild the relationship which has somewhere got strained in the past. And I'm glad that we made some progress on I think on joint letter of on the letter of acknowledgement. I
Acknowledge.
apologize.
Acknowledgement.
And we do made an yes, and we do made a progress on a revenue share, although the amount seems to be in conflict on both the sides. So yes, I think we can have a negotiation session next week, and seeing the schedule of both the parties, me and Mr. Council can deliberate that later. And thank you so much. And it was a fruitful discussion indeed. And I hope that in upcoming session we are able to solve everything out of the code. Thank you so much.
I thank Mr. Sahil for initiating this negotiation process. Thank you to his council too for engaging in this negotiation session. I would also thank my council for being such a cooperative person and my friend also. And also, even though we couldn't agree and we came down on our, both of the parties did come down on our, you increased your revenue share, we came down on our revenue share. I'm happy that we could at least reach the middle ground. But I hope in the next negotiation session we can reach an concluding statement and we could actually get into different agreements. And I hope to see you in further. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now you may give your remarks.
Sir, you are on mute.
I'm saying, would it not be fair if we have it in the after the second session? Am I audible?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
you are
sir.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the layout and the concept of the competition? We have another session in which two different teams participate.
No, sir, that would be the client counseling competition. This is the negotiation one.
Sorry, come again.
Sir, that would be the client counseling competition.
Okay, acha, this is the negotiation competition. Okay, now this was a very impressive negotiation on the commercial negotiation. Uh, are you aware of this Mediation Act of 23 which has come into force? Which has been notified by by the government of India, which perhaps has not yet been enforced because the date of enforcement is yet to be notified, perhaps. Aware of it? Okay. Are you also aware of the concepts of Batna, Vatna, and Malatna? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Just spell it out to me. Batna, Vatna, and Malatna.
Best-
Partner is best alternative to the
alternative.
negotiated agreement. Partner is worst.
Worst already.
To the negotiated agreement.
And Malatna?
Latna.
So,
Mediation, something with respect to mediation.
Most likely alternative to a negotiation. Okay.
Most.
Where the lawyers at least are aware as to what is the most likely outcome of a litigation.
right.
Now,
Okay.
in this hard business negotiation, you did not deploy this. None of the teams impressed upon this as to what is the most likely, or not the most likely, the worst alternative to this negotiation, or what is the
Sir,
best alternative. Also, it was not touched. Worst alternative was not at all touched. I mean, that is where alone where I found the teams lacking. Otherwise, it was very impressive. I have always carried this notion that legal field is one where you have to play roles. And in fact, there was a wonderful role play in the form of the client by team TC87. I mean, she was actually looking like somebody highly placed and very authoritative in her.
Thank you so much, sir.
And your next alternative could be something to do with Bollywood also. Okay. Now the postures and all were good. Negotiation went on well. It was actually a role play, the whole thing. Uh, Nice that you kept it open till the end so that you can negotiate it on a later date. The bitterness was there was no bitterness among you. There was no rudeness. except for some words which I didn't like, which could have been avoided. Narrow-minded was one of them. Uh, one of the teams said it. Perhaps TC71 said that. Uh, Words should be avoided because the negotiation should always remain pleasant. Once you cast something like this, you're playing, you're being very narrow-minded. Then the other team may just walk off. The other party may just walk. So this is voluntarily done. Your negotiation is a voluntary act. Impressive. I mean, both the teams have done very well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All the very best to both of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So just an addition. So the best course of action was mentioned by TC71.
I would
When we were mentioning the
one thing. I mean, this is what I missed out. You see, in any negotiation, it's the party. The party has to be a little reserved. The lawyer has to do most of the talking. Reason behind it is, I mean, tactically also that is advisable, and the reason for that is the party can resile from the lawyer's offer when it is this negotiate when you are negotiating out of court. Inside the court, you may not be able to
Absolutely.
resign from your lawyer's stand, but here you can. So if the lawyer puts across something which the party may not actually agree to, or subsequently realizes it has been wrongly accepted or wrongly given away, so that closes that door because the party himself speaks up. Then he cannot go back on that. It's difficult to
Right.
go back.
Yes.
For team C7, we had a little not too extrovert lawyer. She was a little late. I would say a little soft, maybe little. She let the client do all the talking, and the client did too much of talking. That's it. You had something to say, TC71.
no, so that's fine.
You did well. You did well.
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
Okay, so now I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Sanjay Bhasin sir for taking out the time out of his busy schedule and being here with us today. All the teams and all the participants have did an exemplary job, which has reflected in the manner in which you delivered your statements. The results of the same will be declared in the valedictory ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You.
Hmm.